If you want the best lawn this summer, it's important that you act now.
We're going to be cramming everything into this video that you need to know.
That's right, Jason. Today's video is going to be absolutely jam-packed full of information. Right from how to deal with weeds in your lawn.
We're going to be showing you some new tools that we've got our hands on.
We're partnering with Crest with this one.
Yes, and how to keep your mower in tip-top condition.
And a few years ago, I travelled around Ireland to find out all about seaweed, and we're going to show you the Greenkeeper's secret on how to get your lawn to pop.
Yep.
Let's go.
The easiest and quickest way to get weeds out of your lawn is using this. It's a weed puller. Let me show you how it works. So as it goes into the ground, you pull this lever back and it pinches on the roots, pulls everything out, and then this little slider slides it off into the bin. Easy as that. So as you can see, it's left a bit of a hole here. You can pat that down with your foot to fill it back in, but the best thing to do is to repair it, because after you've pulled the weed out, if there's a little bit of root still in there, after you've repaired it, it'll be a lot harder for that weed to grow back through. So one of the best reasons about using this at this time of year is because if you're thinking of overseeding in the autumn, you can't use weed killer before, because it will stop the germination of the seed.
The process for fixing weed patches and fixing weed patches is exactly the same. So to repair these patches, it's dead easy. Go ahead, Jason. So some grass seed in the bottom of the bucket, and then you want to get a good quality soil. Screen bag topsoil is good because it's going to be weed free. We're taking weeds out, we don't want to be putting weeds in, so it's worthwhile. Spend a couple of £2 on a bag, a half decent bag of soil, and then go ahead, throw some more seed in, throw a bit more soil in there. So whenever you mix it through like this, the seed gets well mixed through the net. Throw it down. So you've seen there that Jason gave that a really good shake, and what that does, it brings all the seed up naturally and it brings the seed through it. So if you can see there's the sort of consistency we want. You can see the seed mixed the whole way through the soil. That's perfect. Throw a couple of handfuls in, put your foot on it to level it off. Pressing it down is a really important thing, because then it ensures good seed to soil contact. Now generally, it doesn't need, those little holes don't need to be watered, unless of course it's been extremely dry. If there's a bit of dampness in the air, generally you'll get away without having to water it, but always pair that with a bit of common sense.
This next tip is for the perfectionist. Your neighbours might think you're nuts for brushing your lawn, but let me show you why. So what I'm doing here is I'm just leveling off the surface so you don't have a mound of dirt where you put the seed down. Next task is to feed this lawn, but before we do that, we need to get the grass cut. So my thoughts on this Crest battery power mower. It's our first use of it, and it has plenty of power. It is really easy to use as well.
So I'm going to give the folks over at Crest a big shout out. Thank you very much for coming on board with the channel. Really looking forward to trying out the tools that you have. Now, just for my viewers, I know a lot of guys, there's a lot of professionals following me, and you'll be saying, Robbie, this grass isn't very long, and it's definitely not. But we have a video that we're going to start into very soon, and it's going to be out in the community, and we're going to see how well this stuff performs. Now, I follow another channel called Flawless Gardening, and they do some neglected gardens, and the stuff that Crest stuff goes through is absolutely amazing. And I'm going to be testing it out for myself, and you'll definitely see it in the coming weeks.
Let's see what came out. Loads, and there's still plenty of room in that box as well. Look at that.
This is a selection of some of the tools Crest have really kindly sent to me. We're really looking forward to getting our hands on this, getting out into the real world, making some good content with it. There is some other stuff here, don't worry, we're going to give you a full rundown in a future video on what this stuff's like.
Now Robbie says I've got to scalp this lawn, so what do you think's wrong with it? Let's get it down to the lowest setting.
So how quiet is that Crest lawnmower? Now this is just a quick behind the scenes because we've killed off the test patch and we're going to be redoing it shortly. You might be wondering why I'm cutting the grass on it now, but whenever we come to strip it off in a few weeks time, it's always a lot easier whenever the grass is really short, even though it is down, and hopefully in a couple of weeks time then it'll be ready to go. So that's just a really quick behind the scenes, something that's going to be coming up soon. A few years ago, I travelled around Ireland to find out about seaweed and why it's so good for your lawn. In that video, I went to a golf course called Ballyliffin, and Ballyliffin is one of the top golf courses in Ireland. It actually hosted the Irish Open in 2018. Whenever I was at Ballyliffin Golf Course, the course manager up there told me a secret, and we call it the Greenkeeper secret. It's how they get really nice coloured lawns, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, we're going to be using some seaweed and some iron. Now, these are both my own products. Carpet is my own brand of fertiliser, but I'm going to show you something that's going to make it really easy. But the reason why we recommend this is because it greens up your lawn practically overnight, nearly right away. But another good thing about it is it's cheap and easy. So let's go and start that. So on the Carpet website, we had a really handy tool built that you can actually measure your lawn to know how much product you're going to need, but also it tells you exactly how much seaweed, fertilizer or iron you need for different things. So anybody that's new to lawn care, we use iron as it greens up your lawn, it hardens your grass, and more importantly, it also blackens the moss. And whenever it blackens the moss, it dehydrates it, and that allows you to rake it out. So it's easy to get mixed up with all those numbers. So that's why we have the calculator on it. So you measure your lawn, and then it'll tell you exactly how much you need for your own size of lawn. So let's get some mixed up.
We're going to be putting on the iron at 2 grams per metre square to green up the lawn. This can be safely mixed with the seaweed in the sprayer and be put on at the same time. You're going to need a set of scales and a little measuring jug to work all this out. So as you can see, this stuff looks a bit different than the stuff that you get on Amazon. Tell me why.
That's right. So this stuff is called damp grade iron, and it's still iron. It still works exactly the same, but this is a little pro tip for you. So the professionals use the damp grade stuff because it's actually easier to get damp than the stuff you buy on Amazon, because it's damp grade. It's damp to begin with. That's why we sell it in the bucket, so as we keep it nice and fresh. That's why the pros use this stuff and not the stuff that you see on Amazon. It's just a little tip for you.
Thanks to Daniel Hibbert for sharing the Greenkeeper secret. We love your videos. Thanks for the shout out. So we're returning the favour. Time to grow some carpet. So those of you who haven't sprayed before, we use posts to mark out where we're spraying. If you don't have posts, you can use plant pots so you know where you have sprayed.
So I've had the Greenkeeper secret down for about an hour and a half, an hour now. So we're going to have a look at it, see what it looks like. Now, for any people new to lawn care and you're wondering how it works or what it is, so iron naturally greens up your grass. What it does is it helps the plant create chlorophyll, and that is the pigment that gets your grass nice and green. And the reason we use seaweed is because it helps the fertilizer that's in the ground work better. It also helps grass germinate, or grass seed germinate, helps encourage your grass to grow deeper roots. So there's lots of benefits to it, and it's just a really good way to turbocharge your lawn in between treatment, so it wouldn't be always putting this on, but say for example you were having people around and you just wanted to just push that grass on just a bit extra and to get that extra bit of colour out of it, or if you were just in between your lawn treatments and you just want that bit of colour for a week, well then the Greenkeeper Secret is absolutely perfect for that during the summer months, but don't abuse it. If you want to find out how the Greenkeeper's Secret formula worked, make sure to watch the end of the video. I also have some bonus footage with the Crest lawnmower because I didn't think we'd give it a good enough test, so we'll put it into the field and we'll give it a good go. So watch the end to see all that.
If your lawn is looking terrible at this time of year and you have been feeding it and watering it, there's a good chance it's the blade on your mower. So make sure your mower is safe, flip it over and have a look. If it's all dented and scratched up, let's show you how to fix it. So we have two methods to show you. A sharpening wheel, which is attached to your drill, or a grinder with a flat disc on it. So this wheel, blade goes in between the plastic and the wheel there, and it squeezes in to sharpen the blade when it works. So unfortunately, this little tool isn't working properly, so we're going to get onto the grinder and make some sparks. So just for a couple of pounds on Amazon, you can pick up one of these tools. And what it does, it shows you if you've balanced your blade properly. So when you take weight off one end, you need to take weight off the other end. So when it's back in the machine, it's not vibrating like mad. Nice level blade, nice even cut.
What happens if you don't have one of those, Jason?
Try a nail in the wall and then hang it like that on the nail. And whichever side goes down first, you need to take weight off the heavy side. So if it starts to droop down this way, this is the side you need to take weight off to level it out. So Crest have been kind enough to send us a variety of blades with their mower. If you want to see what their blades do, get in the comments. If we get enough comments, we'll make a video on it.
What about you? So this is another quick behind the scenes. I was editing my video and I realised that we didn't show that Crest lawnmower. We didn't show anywhere near like the power it has. So this grass hasn't been cut since the sheep cut it last time, so it hasn't been cut in quite a while. So I'm going to cut a bit of a ring the whole way around the test patch, so then it'll also help me with the electric fence, because any time the grass touches the electric fence it goes off and then we run out of battery. I think that's been a pretty good first look at the new Crest lawnmower. Now let's go and have a look and see how the front lawn's getting on with the iron, because it's a couple of days later since we put the iron on. So this is the lawn about a day and a half after treatment. You can see that it's really starting to green up. So this is the lawn 1 week after treatment and a cut.